We have seen Mina Shirakawa burst out into the scene of AEW over the years, and no, we're not talking about her chest, but now we're going to be seeing her more regularly in AEW as she is set to sign a full-time AEW contract, and it looks like her chest isn't the only massive thing about her because she is set to get a massive push in Tony Khan's All Elite Wrestling. Welcome back, guys, to the channel. Mina Shirakawa is All Elite. She has done her work with Japan. She said her goodbye. She is ready. According to Fightful.com, she is going to debut officially in AEW as a full-time wrestler over the next few weeks. And Tony Khan has got big plans for Mina. Now, we've seen Mina come in and automatically she was popular. She was getting pops. She was getting viral feds. She was hanging out with Mariah May and she was like forcing Mariah May's face into her chest and drinking champagne, drinking a little bit of the bubbly, as Jericho said. But not only that, she does have a very bubbly character, a very bubbly personality. There is a lot to like when you look at Mina Shirakawa. She does come across as this fun, bubbly, soft, feminine-like female in the wrestling business who looks really good and in dresses and in these really like hot, like revealing outfits that show off her curves and show off her body. She's what a lot of men want in women's wrestling, okay, and that is probably why she has been popular. That's probably why she made an impact in AEW. But now we're going to see what she can do as a full-time wrestler. We're going to see what they've got in store for her. According to Fightful.com, there is a big push set ahead for Mina Shirakawa, and she's going to be treated as one of the top women on the roster. So that could mean titles, that could mean opportunities, could mean winning tournaments and things like that. But of course, she is going to have some big obstacles in her path in front of her. And no, we're not talking about those giant titties. We're talking about Mercedes Moné and her Hogan-like pen, because no matter the promises of Mina Shirakawa getting a push, getting a big run, how does that work when she eventually runs into Mercedes Moné? Because we've seen that Mercedes Moné in AEW just doesn't lose. She hasn't lost. She's probably not going to lose. She's collecting all the belts. Although, to be fair, she did lose a belt last week in a match against Mina Shirakawa. However, Mina Shirakawa did not win the match. It was a triple threat match, and Mercedes Moné wasn't pinned. So we finally see Mercedes lose, but she didn't actually lose. She was just like, the third wheel. She was in the match as the champion, but didn't get pinned. She wasn't beaten to lose the belt, and I guess that counts as a Mercedes loss these days. That's about as best as you can hope for. If you don't like Mercedes Moné and you want to see her lose, then you need to hope that she loses as part of a multi-person match, or she teams up with Harley Cameron and she takes the defeat, because that's the only time that we see Mercedes Moné lose recently. But anyway, according to Fightful.com, Shirakawa is set to appear on AEW programming imminently, with discussions already underway for her first appearance in the next couple of weeks. Sources indicate that Shirakawa is poised to receive a significant push upon arrival. She's just wrapped up her 5-year run in Stardom, and wasn't that long ago where she said goodbye to all her friends and all that stuff. So yeah, like I said, we have seen her in AEW before, and we have seen her have like some promos. She had promos, matches, feuds. She's had a little bit of everything, but now obviously she's going to go there as a full-time wrestler, and I believe that she will not. I mean, she won't be working Stardom since she's gone. So I don't think her contract's exclusive to AEW, but I imagine that for the most part she will just be wrestling in AEW, and who knows, might have the odd booking in the Indies here, there, somewhere. But for the most part, I think that we will see her just wrestling and being a full-time wrestler in AEW, and we'll see if that leads to her getting a big push. Can she be a champion in that company? Absolutely. They've got 2 women's titles. Hopefully she's the woman, I think, to defeat Mercedes Moné. I think Mercedes Moné's run has It's just boring now. I mean, we've seen her have that belt, TBS champion. A lot of the time, she's taking on people that you know can't win. I'm hoping that Mina does come in and Mina does beat Mercedes Moné. I would be impressed if that happens, because I just don't see Mercedes losing. But who knows? Maybe Tony Khan's got the hots for Shirakawa. Maybe Mina can just like flash Tony, or maybe she can do that move she done to Mariah May, where she just like grabbed her face and shoved it into her fucking, into her cleavage. Maybe he could do that, and that might be enough to make Tony Khan decide, you know what, she's got to win this match. But we'll have to wait and see. I mean, either if she can't use Mercedes Moné's Hogan pen, maybe she can use Tony Khan's special pen to get herself a title in this company. Who knows? But you know what? This could be a fresh injection of blood into AEW's women's division. I like the women's division, but again, it is a bit limited when it comes to people that can actually properly work, and I think Mina Shirakawa can. So, I mean, hopefully she could be. I guess she could be AEW's version of Io Sky, definitely. Although I would say that Mina Shirakawa is probably more attractive and definitely acts more sexual than Io Sky. Is she as good as a worker? I haven't seen it yet, but who's to say she can't be? So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Mina set for a full-time run now in AEW, and we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But big push supposedly set for her, and yeah, hopefully she gets that push. Hopefully she wins the belt, and I just want to see that come off Mercedes Moné. She can speak a bit of English, so I don't know if she will get better. If she's doing a full-time run in AEW, maybe it will improve naturally, or who knows. But we'll see what happens, guys. Anyway, that's it. Let us know your thoughts down below. Are you a fan of me? I am. I'll be completely honest. I like Mina Shirakawa. I'm not going to beat around the bush. Not going to be fake. Not going to be politically correct and play it safe. I like women in wrestling that are fucking attractive. It's as simple as that. And Mina Shirakawa certainly is. So yeah, you know what? I'm all for Mina coming in, and give us Mina. We want Mina in AEW, and we'll see what she can do, and we'll see if Tony Khan can pull this off, if he can do something good with it, or will he drop the ball? That remains to be seen. But that's it, guys. Not a lot else happening in the world of professional wrestling. So, we'll see. Big push ahead. Tony Storm, Mercedes Moné are the champs. Who's more likely to lose their belt first? Who would I say is more likely? Sadly, I've got a feeling it's Tony Storm. I think Tony Storm's more likely to lose it. I wouldn't even be surprised if we get Tony Storm versus Mercedes Moné at some point in a title versus title match, which leads to Mercedes winning. Just seems to be Tony Khan has brought in Mercedes, and he's allowing her to run all over the entire fucking roster. Never a good idea to book somebody that strong. And people bash Hogan, but let's be honest, if Hogan was going to bury people, Hogan somewhat deserved it, because he was Hulk Hogan. If someone's gonna take the pen and book themselves and put themselves over, then you need to at least be over, I think, to at least warrant being in control and in charge and in that position. And at least Hulk Hogan was a fucking star, a mega star. One of the biggest, if not the biggest, to ever do it. Mercedes Moné does not justify the Hogan push at all. But anyway, guys, that's it. Catch you in the next one. Till then, peace.